second decade of university sports coverage, TSN proudly presents CIAU football.
Live from Skydome, TSN proudly presents the 30th Vanier Cup this afternoon. The Canada West champions, Saskatchewan Huskies, take on the champions of Ontario, the Western Ontario Mustangs, for the CIAU's National Championship in football. Western is undefeated, ranked #1 in the nation with a 10-0 record. Saskatchewan is 6-0 its last 6 and is ranked #2. Frank Jagus, the field goal kicker for Western, is that school's all-time leading scorer. He will kick it off to begin this game, and like the rest of his teammates, he has never played in the Vanier Cup before. In the 30-year history of this game, everyone who has played 5 straight years at Western has been to at least one Vanier Cup. Back deep to receive for the Saskatchewan Huskies, Maureen Norston, the all-star tailback. And another all-star, number 30, Kelly West. And the 1994 Vanier Cup is underway. The kick is taken short at the 34-yard line and fallen on by Corey Toms, who managed to corral the bouncing ball. Brent Schneider, who injured his knee 5 weeks ago, comes in at quarterback for Saskatchewan. And for the season, over 2,100 yards, including 8 touchdown passes in one game, a CIAU record.
Just incredible numbers for Brent Schneider, the third-year quarterback at the University of Saskatchewan. 26 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions. Remarkable performance in '94.
After a 38-yard kickoff and no return, it's 1st and 10 Saskatchewan at the Huskies' 34-yard line. 3 receivers to the near side of the field. And Saskatchewan will come up throwing. Schneider gets it out to the flat to Jason Johnston. And the big tight end has a first down up near midfield on the Huskies' first play from scrimmage. Well,
it doesn't take you long to realize what Saskatchewan's going to do. They are a throwing team all the way. Schneider's looking to the outside, sees that the defensive backs drop off in zone coverage. They have Jason Johnson just does what they call a bench route. Schneider deals it to him, then he gets his shoulders up the field for a first down.
A gain of 15 yards for Johnson, who had 15 catches in the regular season. On first down, this is Norston. Maureen Norston with his first carry of the game. Cuts it back inside. Norston loose in the defensive backfield, still going to the 35-yard line. Tackle made by the safety, Tim Hughes. And the gain on the play, 26 yards on Norston's first carry.
And this is the big difference that Saskatchewan has now that they didn't have an 89. Is a real quick back. They run draw, give it to Norston. Looks like he's boxed in, but the great quick feet, cuts it back inside and gets up the field. He possesses great speed and excellent balance.
2 plays, 2 first downs for the Saskatchewan Huskies, now at the Western 35-yard line. Receivers to the top of the screen. That's where Schneider's going. Looking to the end zone. He's got Prokop. And Prokop's got 1 man to beat. Tackled at the 4-yard line by the safety, Tim Hughes. The gain is 30 yards. And Saskatchewan's making it look easy.
This is an excellent read by Brent Schneider. He gets back, sees 3 deep coverage. He has both slot backs do a seam route. Tim Hughes has to come over from playing the safety position and make the tackle. But they're just trying to put Hughes in an island out there, run both inside receivers to the corner, and then Schneider reads it.
In 3 plays, Saskatchewan has gone 70 yards. 1st and goal from the 5. Schneider, end zone. Johnston, incomplete. Coverage on the play by Ryan Lyons, the first-year player who will get a workout at halfback for Western, Jamie.
Well, we talked about how great a film analysis proponent Brent Schneider is. He likes to get involved and look at the films. He would have seen last week Nigel McGilvery from Bishops against the rookie Ryan Lyons, and that's who they'll try and go to this afternoon.
But there is a flag on the play. Referee Terry Connolly indicates offside Western. Connolly from Edmonton heads this cross-Canada officiating crew.
Offside, Western, number 41. First down, Saskatchewan.
Patrice Denis, the all-star linebacker for Western, is called for offside. Half the distance now, 1st and goal from the 2.5. And there you see Denis jumping offside. Saskatchewan now with 3 in the backfield. Norston outside, touchdown Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan scores on its first possession.
Very impressive drive by U of S. Jason Fielding comes in number 21 as a lead blocker, gets a nice block of Brian Heslop. They get the ball deep in the backfield to Maury Norston, and he just trots into the end zone.
Well, the Huskies, who were last here in 1990, showing plenty of composure in the early moments, and what an impressive drive by Saskatchewan. And we said that it could be a shootout. The point after by Aki Georgikakis is good. And the Saskatchewan Huskies have a 7-0 lead in the 30th Vanier Cup.
We pitted Castrol Syntec 1030 against the leading conventional oils in some of the world's toughest tests. The 96-hour TU3 viscosity test. The M111E, designed to break down an oil into sludge. The blistering hot VWIC deposit test. Not one conventional oil could pass all these tests. Then again, there's nothing conventional about Syntec. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
Dreams. We carry them with us all the time. Some we've had for as long as we can remember. Others are very new. Dreams can comfort us, move us, and inspire us to build a better life. But how does a dream get off the ground?
Back at Skydome, where the Saskatchewan Huskies have a 7-0 lead in the opening moments of the football game.
Saskatchewan lined up in that touchdown in a power I formation. Number 21, Jason Fielding, is a lead blocker, gets a great block at number 22, Brian Heslop. Maury Norston reads that, and now he gets outside, makes it look real easy. Heslop has to force up inside or outside and force Norston back inside, but a great block by Jason Fielding.
Let's go to the Saskatchewan bench and Leif Pedersen.
Well, Gordon, Jamie, one of the reasons for Saskatchewan's success in the latter part of the season was tremendous offensive output in the first quarter. Last week, 2 out of the first 3 drives were touchdowns. Today, they get off to a good start again. I think that's the key for them.
Here's Kevin Foster on the kickoff return for Western, out across the 45 to the 46-yard line, and Warren Goldie gets his first chance to go to work for the Mustangs with his team already down a touchdown. 2 minutes gone in the opening half.
Has to be the most pleasant surprise for the Mustangs in 1994. Warren Goldie, a backup quarterback for 3 years, finally gets his chance to start and did not disappoint. Put up some very impressive numbers, 20 touchdowns, only 12 interceptions.
First and 10 Western. And again to the fullback, Craig Young, who pulls his way across the 50 to the 53-yard line. Setting the offense for the University of Western Ontario Mustangs, Dennis Shaw, P.J. Gleason, and Jude St. John were all OUAA All-Stars on the offensive line. In the backfield, Sean Reed rushed for more than 1,200 yards in the regular season and postseason. He, too, was an OUAA All-Star.
And not real fast receivers, Tom McConnell, Steve Bucket at the freshman at slot back, Stuart Beek, the All-Canadian, and Sandy McGregor at wide receiver.
Gain was 7. Reed, his first carry into Saskatchewan territory at the 45-yard line for Sean Reed, the All-Canadian.
And you can certainly see the different styles. Both teams, different philosophies altogether. Saskatchewan, they're a throwing team. Western are still committed to the run. They like to run isolation, off tackle, lead with a fullback, kick out. Now they get a seam, and Reed gets up the field. You can see the kind of pressure that Trent Bagnall, the safety, he likes to stick his nose in there. That could prove to be dangerous for Saskatchewan later on. If he starts sniffing up in there, they'll try and sneak Stuart Beek into that opening.
Reed has 6 touchdowns in 3 playoff games for Western. Taking over for 2-time Heck Crichton Trophy winner Tim Tyndale. The gain on the last play was 10. Another first down for the Mustangs. First trip into Saskatchewan territory. Sandy McGregor goes in motion. The toss to Sean Reed. Trying the near side. And Reed gets stacked up as the safety. You mentioned him, Jamie. Trent Bagnall comes over to help make the stop. Setting the defense for the Saskatchewan Huskies. This team was 2-2 after 4 games. Then James Rapesi was put into the lineup as a freshman. And he has been a major factor in this Saskatchewan defense. For the linebackers, Steve Cornish was the leading tackler in Canada West this year. He is a Canada West All-Star.
And the secondary, Sean Grant, Dan Stewart, and Trent Bagnall, both Canada West All-Stars. Louis Simon and the rookie Mike Stewart at right corner.
Gain was 2. Goldie to throw for the first time. Screen pass to Reed. He's wide open. Looking for a block, and now Reed is off and running. It's a race to the end zone, and they won't get him. Sean Reed, 44-yard touchdown. And they're lighting it up at Skydome.
Take a look at Sean Reed just to the right side. Slow blocks. Now he releases number 25. Warren Goldie dishes it out to him. This is what they call bingo cross. Now it's a foot race, a good block by Stuart Beach. Nice drive by the Mustangs.
Only the second receiving touchdown of the season for Sean Reed. Jagus for the point after. It is good. We played 3 minutes and 52 seconds of football, and each team has scored once.
Their man coverage in the secondary. Sean Reed bumps the linebacker Steve Cornish, then releases. Warren Goldie does a nice job of hanging in there. Dishing the pass out to Sean Reed. Now he gets a couple of key blocks. One by Stuart Beek, and that's the one that releases Sean Reed into the end zone.
3 touchdowns last week against the Bishop's Gators. 1 here already this afternoon, and the Skydome is rocking this afternoon. We expected offense, Jamie, but nothing like this.
And it was very well executed offense is what's been so impressive so far. Both teams doing a great job.
It was a 4-play, 64-yard drive. And you see offensive coordinator Greg Marshall, a former All-Canadian in himself, sketching it out on the sidelines. Jagus to kick it off for the second time. This is Kelly Wist from his 14. And Wist gets up to the 40-yard line. Tackle made on the play by defensive back Brian Hesla. Brent Schneider and the offense goes to work after a 53-yard kick and a 20-yard return. 7-7 is the score. 11:02 to play in the first quarter of the 30th Vanier Cup.
What's the real sports fan looking for? More scores, stats, information, more expert analysis, more coverage of your team. All the details, all the time, anywhere. What the real sports fan needs is tsnmax.ca. TSNmax.ca offers detailed sports information from Canada's leading sports experts. Email alerts, web alerts, wireless access, pools, and you can personalize it so you get all the information you need. TSNmax.ca. Max your sports IQ.
We're back at Skydome in Toronto, the final football game of the year to be played in this facility. 4 plays, 64 yards, a minute 52 as the University of Western Ontario Mustangs answered the opening drive by the Saskatchewan Huskies, who now have the football 1st and 10 at their own 41. Schneider under pressure, and he is dropped. Schneider dropped quickly on the play by number 54, Toby McHale, one of those 5th-year players for the Mustangs.
Well, Toby McHale lining up to the right of your screen just aside of Brent Schneider. The center goes the wrong way. David Rogers, number 55. He goes front side. Toby McHale comes in untouched. Schneider sees that and says, hey, I'm not going to try and do anything crazy. I'm not going to throw the ball up. I'll take the sack, regroup, and come back out.
Loss was 5 on the play. Now 2nd and 15. 3 receivers near side of the field. Norston, the lone back. Schneider, screen pass to Norston. He's got traffic in front of him. He's up to the 45-yard line, but it'll be 5 yards short of a Saskatchewan first down, and the Huskies will have to punt. And Rich Gabrook comes on to punt for Saskatchewan, a 37-yard average in the regular season. but in the playoffs he has punted for just a 25.6-yard average. Part of that may have had to do with the fact that he played quarterback in the Canada West Championship against Calgary.
That's right. I think a different mindset altogether. He was preparing himself to play quarterback. Probably didn't punt very much in practice at all, and he suffered because of it.
Brook back in his own 30. Gets a low tumbling kick away. It's fielded by Anthony Lane, and Lane is buried. Absolutely buried on the play by lineman Doug Jackson. Leaf Pedersen.
Well, Gordon, Jamie down on the bench, and James Rapesi has a burner in the left shoulder. Just stung momentarily, and my guess is he's going to return to the lineup, give him a series out, and he'll be back.
That's good news for the Saskatchewan Huskies, Leaf, because this defense needs it. A 34-yard punt by Rich Brook, and the Mustangs take over at their own 33. 1st and 10 with this game tied at 7. 9:20 to play in the first quarter. Back to the ground, Sean Reed. Reed gets by the first wave and gets up to the 40-yard line. Stop made on the play by Steve Cornish and Warren Musica.
Western right now like to lead with a lead back. That's Craig Young, their fullback. He does not carry the ball as much this year. They try and get him onto the linebacker, take Sean Reed out of that I formation. He follows him and bounces off that block.
The gain was 7. And back to Reed. And he'll be close to the first down as he got right to the 43-yard line, which is where he needed to be. And stopped again by the linebacker, Steve Cornish. Third-year phys ed student, like many of these Huskies from Moose Jaw. In fact, only one player in the Saskatchewan lineup isn't from the province of Saskatchewan. Back to Leaf.
Hey, Gordon, Jamie, one of the things that you and I both know, that noise in the Sky Dome can be a problem for a lot of teams that come in here. Last series for Saskatchewan, the linemen couldn't hear each other's calls, and that led to a problem. But it is a big and loud building today for both teams.
And there's a ton of bands everywhere you look here, too, so that can't help. And Reed is inches short of a first down.
Well, Western are going to go for it. It's interesting Lee talks about the noise, because prior to today's game, I talked to Brent Schneider. He said, you know, last week in Halifax, we managed to take the crowd out of the game, and we didn't have any problems communicating. He said today could be a different story if we don't take Western out of this game early.
Well, they did early, but then the Mustangs came right back to get in it and electrify this crowd. It'll be 3rd and inches for the Mustangs, who will go gambling at their own 43-yard line. Warren Goldie, who had arm surgery 2 years ago, lining up this Western offense on 3rd and inches. 2 tight ends in the game. And Goldie goes straight ahead. He gets to the 45-yard line. He has a first down. Gain of a couple for the Western quarterback.
That's a smart play when it's just inches to go. Nice job. Warren just gets the ball, puts his head down, and follows the block of Dennis Shaw and P.J. Gleason. Good initial surge by that offensive line.
We mentioned how good this Western offensive line is. The whole right side, including the center, Dennis Shaw, made the OUAA All-Star team. And the right guard, P.J. Gleason, is an All-Canadian. Goldie on first down, fakes the toss to Reed. And goes over the middle to the tight end, Stuart Beek. Beek still going, finally tackled at the 39-yard line. Stopped by Mike Stewart after a gain of 27 yards for the big 6'6" tight end.
And Gord, this is the play that we were talking about in the opening, where they like to run off tackle outside. Now they fake the pitch. They get all the pursuit coming over. They pull that guard out as bootleg action. Goldie's looking inside to Stuart Beek. He slides in behind those linebackers and does a pretty nifty job of running with the football after he makes a reception.
He caught a key 2-point conversion last week in the Churchill Bowl against Bishops. Goalie again to throw. Has Beek wide open underneath. Beek off and running. Puts his head down and gets to the 21-yard line. Forced out of bounds by linebacker Steve Cornish, but it's another first down after a gain of 18.
This is a guy that Saskatchewan's going to have to pay a lot of attention to. He is the All-Canadian. Smart comes down, watches the linebackers drop out, then comes right across the formation. But you'll notice the offensive line has given Goldie a lot of time, because look where he hit him. He hit him on the other side of the formation, and Beek gets up the field for the first down.
You see Beek with the long hair. The last time he had his hair cut was in December of '93 when he went to meet his girlfriend's parents. He says he until the end of the season. Craig Young, the fullback. And he's down to the 10-yard line. Trent Bagnall makes the stop, but it's a gain of 11 and 3 consecutive first downs for Western.
Now, what Greg Marshall, the offensive coordinator for Western, told me coming into this game, he felt their linebackers would play outside to try and take away that toss play. That would leave them susceptible to off tackle with the fullback.
Young checks out of the football game for Western. And coming in now is Peter Glaub. And it's the counter up the middle, and this is Glaub on the carry. He's got maybe 3 as he gets to the 7-yard line.
Well, Western also bring in Damian Lowry. He would replace Steve Buchan at slot. They like to run a little bit of that slot back sweep action. They gave him that deep look and handed the inside trap off to Peter Glaub, but Saskatchewan did a very good job of defending it.
Glaub checks out of the game. He played for Western from 1988 to 91. Did not play in the Vanier Cup game in 1989 as he had sustained a neck injury. But he was with the Mustangs in their championship season. So he would be the only Western player who has a Vanier Cup ring. Second down, just outside the 6. The toss to Reed. Foot race to the end zone. Gets away from Bagnall and gets close, but not in. Reed forced out of bounds at the 1-yard line as he put his head down, but he couldn't get in.
They bring Stuart Big across the formation. He's going to be one of the lead blockers. Now they get toss out here. Good block by Sean Young. But watch, Trent Bagnall, the safety, comes up. Just gets a piece of Sean Reed. Reed loses his balance.
So both first-year starters in the Saskatchewan defense, James Rapesi and Mike Stewart, are on the bench for this 3rd and goal from the 1. Straight ahead. Got there. Touchdown Western. And the Mustangs lead for the first time.
Initial penetration by Leatherdale, number 68. Stands Goldie up, but it was a second effort by Warren Goldie that gets him into the end zone.
2 third-down conversions on that drive. In the 30th, Vanier up. Western with the lead and looking to add the point after. Jagus puts it through, and it's Western by a touchdown with 6:23 to play in the opening quarter of the 30th Vanier Cup.
Being tall, well, it does have its shortcomings. Usually, when you find something you like, it's not available in the size you want. Moores seems to understand this better than others. Not only is the style and selection there, but you're not treated as an afterthought, and that's a tall order. After all, when you're my size, it's nice finding something that fits. If you know what I mean.
Well made, well priced, well dressed. Moores.
We're at the site of the protest at the TSN studios. The organizer of the event, Norm Pinehead.
Michael Lansberg has finally crossed the line. He has got to go. We're shutting him down.
Bring it on.
And the Huskies keep the drive alive just outside the 40 with a first down. 3 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Western leads at 14-7. Schneider, they give to Norston. And Norston got a great block from Slavik. And he's off and running to the 26-yard line. The tackle finally made by Brian Heslop. But what a job to set up the block by Norston in a 14-yard gain.
All great running backs have great vision. Maury Norston going to the right. No, nothing's there. The gaps are all filled. Now he cuts it back, and what a nifty move to come underneath. Gets up the field, and Brian Heslop, the inside halfback, has to make the tackle. But just take a look at his eyes. Reading. Cuts underneath. Now he gets his shoulders up the field, goes off of that block.
And you saw the great block by Slavik on Derek Creek. Now on 2nd and short. Back to the fullback, Slavik, and that time he was stacked up by the middle linebacker, Patrice Denis. He needed to get to the 26-yard line for a first down. He'll be short by a yard.
Good defensive stand, number 41, the middle linebacker, Patrice Denny, middle linebacker, flows across, fills hard now. Again, Derek Creed coming in there.
It'll be 3rd and a yard for the Huskies. Check that. 2nd and 11. Looking over the top to the end zone, intercepted by Xavier Lafont. Schneider was looking to the end zone, and Xavier Lafont comes up with the grab. Lafont with his 4th interception of this season, and he played a major role for the Mustangs last week.
Well, this is a case of Schneider just taking a little bit too long to throw the ball out here, because he does have Prokop, but what happens is Lafont is playing soft in that zone in the corner, and he drops back. Tim Hughes, the safety's coming across, but Lafont has enough time to come over and make the interception. Good position by Lafont. As up high makes the catch. Kerry Prokop tries to strip him of the ball. That's Lafont's 4th interception this season.
And a big defensive play for the Mustangs, who take over 1st down at their own 10 over the middle. Bucket, and he got nailed. Trent Bagnall leveled Steve Bucket as he reached up for that high pass.
And you know, I have to believe that Steve Bucket thought that he might.
Oof.
That's when Steve Bucket goes back to the quarterback and says, hey, don't throw me any more of those soft ones, hanging me to dry over the middle.
He had only 3 catches in the regular season, and he paid for trying to get one in this Vanier Cup game. On 2nd down, Goldie. Lots of time, and he's off and running. Now reversing his field. He's got lots of people in front of him. Goldie needs a 20 for a 1st down. He's got 9 and more. Still going up to the 34-yard line. Finally forced out of bounds after a gain of 24. Linebacker Steve Cornish forced him out of the Western bench. Now we've got flags and fists. Western objected to what they thought was a late hit by Cornish. And you see number 39, Paul Priester, getting into it with a couple of Saskatchewan Huskies down there.
Well, these teams are starting to get the big hate on for one another. The goalie has all sorts of time, but he realizes, no, it's covered. There's a nifty job of cutting back here now. Gets all the defenders out of position. His guys start coming back and peeling back and making some blocks, but Steve Cornish comes along here. Gets him out of bounds.
And they collided with the furniture on the sideline. The question is, could Cornish have let him go a little earlier?
No, he's
3
out of
full
bounds
steps. 3 full steps out of bounds, Jimmy.
Yeah, I think so. There should have been a flag there.
And here's the call from referee Terry Connolly.
On number 7, Saskatchewan, 1st down, Western.
So Bagnall gets piling on. And so the penalty moves them up to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, Trent Bagnall, I don't think he had really much to do with that, but the flags didn't come down initially when Cornish took Warren Goldie into the table. Came down afterwards, so maybe Trent Bagnall was involved in some extracurricular activity after the play.
If he was, it was very late. At any rate, the result is a Mustang 1st down at their own 47, so the net gain is 37 yards by the Mustang.
It's one thing you don't want to do. If you take a quarterback out and you're rough, you don't want to do it by his own bench.
Now the problem is that the Western headsets on their sideline are out. That's what we've been told from the sideline. If that's the case, the Saskatchewan Huskies would be asked to turn theirs off until Westerns are fixed. Now Terry Connolly is going to the Saskatchewan sideline. Towers is still arguing about the call on Trent Bagnall. And you heard Towers mouth the words, number 7, what did he do? Well, Larry Haler In his 10th year as the coach of the Mustangs, has won Vanier Cup to his credit already. Looking to add a second. So is this man in his 11th year as the head coach.
No problem.
Leif Pettersson.
Well, Gordon, the problem is one of the headsets is out on the western sideline, so the official just coming over to Brian Towers and indicating that they have to give up a headset until everything can get squared away. And you just see right now Brian Towers has put his headset down. That's the problem.
And Jerry Friesen, the defensive coordinator, will keep his on, which makes sense with Saskatchewan's defense on the field.
Well, I think he's supposed to take his off as well.
Boy, what a tempo to start this football game. 3 touchdowns already. We're under a minute to go in the first quarter. So they've sorted everything out with penalties and electronics. And the Mustangs have it at their own 47, first down. Reed moving outside. Fighting close to midfield, gets up to the 53-yard line. Bagnall got up to help make the stop with Warren Muzichka. The gain was 7.
This is not a good sign. Sean Reed's going down on one knee. He was limping after that play. There's Jerry Friesen. His headset is still on.
Now, if Western only has one headset down on their sideline, Saskatchewan can still use one on theirs.
That's what the ruling would be.
Reed has 6 carries for 37 yards already, but leaves the game now limping. Rapesi is back in for Saskatchewan. So is Mike Stewart, the 2 first-year players who were injured on that last series. It's 2nd and 3. Craig Young, the fullback, vaults over the defenders and gets down to the 50. Stewart came up to help make the stop. A gain of 6 and a first down for the Mustangs.
And, you know, we've seen Craig Young do this. We saw it last week. He likes to get in the air. And the interesting fact about Craig Young is that he is the highest vertical jump of any Mustang, 37 inches. Which is really incredible. You can see he likes to use the vertical jump there as he hops over a few defenders.
Young scored his first touchdown of the season last week against Bishops, and it was a very important one that allowed his team to get back in the football game. Here he's got his club a first down into Saskatchewan territory at the 50. Golden has it out to the sidelines, and his man still going, Tom McConnell. And McConnell will score. Touchdown. 50 yards. Tom McConnell with the touchdown, and Western with the convert can lead by 14 points.
Now Saskatchewan are in a cover 2, which means the corner is out deep inside. Now Louis Simon has to come out here and try and make the play. Hits him, but he doesn't knock him out of bounds, and Mike Stewart is caught inside. Now once he avoids those 2, he just trots it into the end zone. And look, he can't believe it.
Jagus with the point after. It is good, his 3rd of the game, and the Mustangs on the final play of the opening quarter get a 50-yard touchdown from Tom McConnell. The second quarter coming up next. The Mustangs lead by 2 touchdowns in the 30th Vanier Cup.
Dreams. They can give us hope. Hope to make the grade. Hope to be brave. To win against the odds. Sometimes it's just hope to carry on. In every community, there are dreams full of hope.
Skydome in Toronto for the 6th time in Vanier Cup history. These 2 teams met in the first indoor Vanier Cup back in 1989. They lit it up there, and they're doing it again today. Western with a 21-7 lead over Saskatchewan. The Huskies have the ball at their own 48.
They had some great players in that '89 game. David David Sapunjas, of course, Tyrone Williams for Saskatchewan, Dan Farthing, and Jordan Gartner. Quite a game.
Williams was the most valuable player in that Vanier Cup game in 1989.
And Errol Brown, he was against Errol Brown, the starting safety for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
That little guy, as Tyrone called him at the time.
Well, anybody's little to Tyrone. He's 6'6" tall.
So Brent Schneider, who's had a couple of tough possessions and penalties have hurt the Huskies. They begin 1st and 10 at their own 48, and Schneider's up and throwing. Over the middle has his man. Prokop has the football at the Western 45-yard line. Kerry Prokop with the reception and a gain of 17 yards for a first down.
This is a big-time throw by Brent Schneider. Corey Prokop, the slot back. Now he does it out. Now Brian Heslop is the inside halfback. He just stays there, but Schneider delivers the ball under heavy pressure. You can see that ball just right in between the two defenders. Kerry Prokop goes down. Heslop expands outside. Now Prokop comes there, makes a great catch.
Prokop set the school record for receiving yards this year with 862. And he gave his team a first down at the Western 45. Schneider guns it and has it knocked down. It was batted down by Paul Priestner, the 5th-year player from Burlington, whose brother John played in the Canadian Football League.
And brother John won 2 Vanier Cups in 1976 and 77. That's what they teach defensive linemen when the quarterback takes his non-throwing hand away off the football. That means he's going to throw it. Get up in the air, get your hands up, create a screen.
Brings up a second down for the Huskies at the 45, and they were in this exact same situation a moment ago. But Schneider misfired, and the Huskies were forced to punt. Over the middle, has his man, but it's incomplete. He was looking over there to Jason Olenek. Olenek had it for a moment, but couldn't hang on. And Saskatchewan's punting unit will take the field again with 8:16 to go in the first half.
Brian Towers doesn't like that one bit. This is a very good pass by Brent Schneider. Puts it right on Jason Olenek's numbers. Olenek can't squeeze it. Olenek comes into this game only with 4 receptions.
One of them for a touchdown. Now Rich Gabrook, a punter and backup quarterback for Saskatchewan. Low kick. Taken by Lane. Lane gets away from the first wave. It gets out to the 25-yard line. The ball's loose. The ball came out, but Western retains possession. A 35-yard punt. And a return of 21. Back to the 30th Vanier Cup in a moment.
We pitted Castrol Syntec 1030 against the leading conventional oils in some of the world's toughest tests. The 96-hour TU3 viscosity test. The M111E, designed to break down an oil into sludge. The blistering hot VWIC deposit test. Not one conventional oil could pass all these tests. Then again, there's nothing conventional about Syntec. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
It is a great day for football.
Monday is for football. It's time for classic NFL action. Relive the greatest game. Relive the moments with all the stars of the game. Every Monday night on ESPN Classic Canada, where the legends come to play.
Western by 14 points. 3 of the first 4 possessions in this game resulted in touchdown. Sean Reed got tripped up early and not much doing there. Great play made by Brandon Leatherdale, number 68, to reach out and stop him up. He got the first down, or at least close to it.
Brandon Leatherdale, a couple weeks ago we did the game between Calgary, the Canada West Final, and Saskatchewan, and we named him the Leatherman, and all the players at University of Saskatchewan defense thought that was pretty good, and they always call him the Leatherman all the time every time he gets into the dressing room, and he's a little bit embarrassed about it, but he was certainly giving a couple of guys at the University of Calgary a whipping that day.
Close to a first down for Reed, who averaged 6.6 yards a carry coming into this game, but Saskatchewan has held him to 5 yards a carry in the opening half. He's inches short. Now it's 3rd and inches at your own 50.
Now, you know what? When we go back in 1989, it was almost the very same situation, but it was reversed. Saskatchewan, with less than a minute and a half left to go in the first half, were faced with 3rd and short. They decided to go for it. They were only down by 4 at that time. They were stuffed. Western scored in that series and took an 11-point lead into the half.
And Larry Haler has made up his mind. He leaves the offense out there. All Goldie has to do is make sure the snap is crisp, and he'll fall forward for what should be a first down.
Let's go offense!
3rd and inches. Goldie straight ahead, has the first down easily. Now under a minute to play in the second quarter.
And they need about 20 yards or 15 yards, excuse me, to get in Goldie's field goal range.
And what a lift it would be for the Mustangs to get points before the half.
Offensive line wants to get very low and not allow any penetration into the gaps. Just has Warren Goldie fall forward and get the first down.
Now set up with a first down on their own side of midfield at the 52. The Mustangs with a 2-touchdown lead have the ball, and the clock is running under 50 seconds. Goldie out to the flat, has Glab, and Glab has nowhere to go as the corner Sean Grant came up to make an early stop. He did not get out of bounds. It's a gain of 5, and Western has to hurry. Let's have a listen to the hit. And as Tuffy Knight used to say, if you don't like that, you don't like football.
That's right. Sean Grant almost caused a fumble.
And waiting on the sidelines for the Mustangs, their all-time leading scorer, Frank Jaggers, 22 of 34 this year. They fake the toss to Reed. Golden out to the flat, almost had it intercepted as Sean Grant came diving across Sandy McGregor trying to make the interception. 23 seconds to play in the opening half.
It's good defense by Saskatchewan. Sean Grant, when they're getting down a little bit closer now in field goal range, play a little bit tighter. It's a nice job to get his left hand in there, knock the ball away.
Now the Huskies have 3rd and 4. Sorry, Western has 3rd and 4, and the Huskies had their punt return unit on the field, but quickly they hustle off, and we've got a timeout called by Saskatchewan, and a good thing he did because he had half of both unit on the field, half his punt return team and half his defense.
I think the other reason he stopped, he saw Warren Goldie come back out in the huddle, and he thought, I can't believe it, Western's going to go for it here in 3rd down and 5.
Well, with 23 seconds remaining, if Western was unsuccessful, there'd be time for the Huskies to run a couple of plays. But perhaps this is motivated by the fact that Western knows that Saskatchewan has had field goal kicking problems all year long.
I'm sure that's exactly what they're talking about now on the sidelines.
Now here it's 3rd and 4 for the Western Mustangs at the Saskatchewan 52 with 23 seconds to play in the opening half. Goldie back to throw. Looking deep, he's got McGregor, and Sandy McGregor has a first down at the 30 with 17 seconds left. Big first down for Western.
This is what they call a dig route, where McGregor runs down, runs a post, and then cuts it off.
And it's
straight across the field.
A 22-yard gain, Jamie. And the clock will start running as soon as the officials are in place. Now 1st and 10 from the 31. Western driving. Golden. McGregor again, almost intercepted. He very nearly had it picked off. As jumping back to make the play was Dan Stewart, the 5th-year player whose brother Mike is also in the defensive backfield.
And this is a case of Warren Goldie just throwing the ball blindly, because Dan Stewart lines up as if he's going to be taking that up flat area, but he just sits there in a squat position.
10 seconds to play in the opening half. We've had lots of meetings, and now we have the play. It is the draw. And it's Peter Glab running inside the 20 to the 18. 4 seconds on the clock. And now you'd have to think the field goal unit would come onto the field, which it does. And Rod Smith with the scoop.
That's a nice safe play that Western runs, put him into better position for Frank Jaggers. There's a little chip shot now.
See Rod, the old lineman, from Queens. He knows that stuff. He knows what's going on down there. And now this is what's going on. A field goal attempt by Frank Jaggers to give his team a 17-point lead. No time left on the clock. The try will come from the 26-yard line. High snap, they get it down, it's up, and it is good. On the final play of the opening half, Saskatchewan gets a 26-yard field goal from Frank Jagas to extend its lead to 17 points, 24-7, in a game that began with a wild shootout between the two offenses. The defenses took over in the second quarter. The 30th Vanier Cup has the Western Mustangs leading the Saskatchewan Huskies 24-7.
Join James Duffy and Darren Detition weeknights on SportsCenter for 90 minutes of the most comprehensive sports news program in Canada, featuring highlights, scores, exclusive interviews, and information from across the country and around the world. SportsCenter with Dutch and Duffy will keep you entertained and up to date on all the sports stories of the day. SportsCenter with James Duffy and Darren Detition, weeknights on TSN, Canada's sports leader.
He is one of the most influential figures in recent history, an ordinary man who by virtue of his courage changed the world around him.
I shook up the world! I shook up the world!
ESPN Classic Canada brings you a week-long tribute to the champ. It all starts December 8th at 9 Eastern with our Muhammad Ali special. Thea Andrews and Russ Amber will be your hosts and guides throughout this very special week. Brought to you by the feature film Ali.
Acme, Georgia Caucus to kick it off to begin the second half of the 30th National Championship game. And this is not deep. It's taken up at the 35-yard line and out at the 40. The kick returned by Kevin Foster. Halftime stat showing the big difference in rushing yards, 124 to 63 for Western, give them the edge in net yards. The one turnover, but Saskatchewan, as Brian Towers mentioned, with 13 first downs.
And Saskatchewan are moving the ball very well, but as Brian said, they just are not finishing it off. What's a little bit surprising about Western's offense is Sean Reed is not becoming the big ball carrier in this game. It really is becoming Craig Young, the fullback.
Young's in there, lined up short in the eye. Reed is deep, and they give the fullback Young, who is stacked up immediately by linebacker Steve Cornish, who's been a busy man today. And it's a gain of a few to the 43-yard line. Call it 3.
And that's the kind of play you want from your inside linebacker when he recognizes trap. He comes underneath right away and does not allow the tight end or the tackle, depending if they have a switch call, to come down and block the inside linebacker.
Warren Goldie 9 of 14 in this game so far for a couple of touchdowns. Both quarterbacks scorched the stat sheet in the opening quarter. And since then, the defenses have come on, and that's something that not many people expected in this football game. Goldie didn't like what he saw and calls timeout as he heads to the Western bench. Talked to Warren Goldie's dad last week, Jamie, and Warren had said to me that if Western didn't win the Vanier Cup this year, he'd consider coming back for a 5th year. And I asked his dad what he thought of that, and he stopped for a second and says, time for that kid to get a job. Tired of paying off those student loans, I guess. His team has a 2nd and 6. Goldie, lots of time underneath for Beek. Beek is close to a first down and even the 50-yard line. He's stacked up short. Great play by linebacker Warren Musica to hang on. Louis Simon came on to help out as well. It'll be 3rd and a long yard for the Mustangs.
And Louis Simon plays this perfectly because they run the routes underneath. They cross both tight ends. Now Goldie dishes it here to Stuart Beek. Musica's got him, but Goldie's trying to get his shoulders turned upfield. No way. Louis Simon comes in and says, you're not falling forward for that first down. They know the type of size that Stuart Beek has, 6'6". All he has to do is fall forward. He would have had it.
And we showed you that play in the pregame show. Saskatchewan does a good job of stopping it here. It forces out the punting unit for the Western Mustangs as Frank Jagas comes on to kick. Jagas tried out for the Toronto Argonauts in the preseason. And he's been booming the punts here today. Here's another one. Olenek from his 17. And great coverage by the Mustangs to limit the return to 4 yards. Tackled on the play by Sonny Parada. It's a 44-yard punt and a 4-yard return.
And the thing there is hang time. Frank Jagas gets a lot of air underneath that ball and allows his punt cover team to come down in their lanes and to break down.
And the Saskatchewan Huskies will have their first possession of the second half, starting at their own 22-yard line. Interestingly enough, neither team, Jamie, has enjoyed great field position in this game. They fake to Norston, and Schneider comes right up throwing. He's got Blackburn up at the 36-yard line. Good for a gain of 14 and a first down, and Blackburn has been Saskatchewan's best receiver this afternoon.
David Blackburn again working one-on-one coverage. Just goes around. Notice how he gets his head around before his body. That's really key there. So he locates where the quarterback is, finds out where the launch point is, and then turns his body.
6 of these Huskies were on the roster in the 1990 Vanier Cup game, but Blackburn is one of only 3 who actually played in that game. And it gives his team a first down at its own 36-yard line. Schneider again with the fake to Norston. All kinds of time as Schneider rolls out, throws, and he has Blackburn sliding again. And Blackburn has a gain of 15 and 2 consecutive first downs for the Huskies, who begin the second half the way they did the first.
It's funny, we talk about how they like to go to Kerry Prokop, the inside receiver, but David Blackburn is a favorite receiver for Brent Schneider, and he just puts that one right on a line, just out of the outstretched hands of Ryan Lyons, and Blackburn comes up with a nice reception.
Blackburn has 6 catches in this game so far. Prokop has only 3. Another first down for the Huskies, moving now to their own 51-yard line. Draw play. And Norston is off and running outside, tries to tiptoe up the sideline, but Maury Norston is forced out of bounds at the 45. Another gain of 14 yards. And another first down for Saskatchewan. So whatever Brian Towers told them, it worked.
And you know, when you think you have a back like Maury Norston, he has such great ability to get away from the block. Another straight arm. Now he turns on the speed and gets outside. Not very big, only 5'8", 165 pounds, but get great speed and quickness.
6.3-yard rushing average this season. And a gain of 14 there gives his team a first down. Now the toss to Norston. He's got blockers in front of him. He's got another first down and more. Norston forced out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The safety, Tim Hughes, pushed him out. It's a gain of 29 for Norston. 4 plays, 4 first downs for Saskatchewan.
They cross up Western here. They run toss to the short side of the field. They get Chris Bell outside. He gets on the defensive back. And Slavic also makes a great block. And now Norston comes up, and Tim Hughes comes across and gives him a shot to stop him. But good blocking at the point of attack. It's a pretty good shot that Norston takes here. Boom.
Norston's 10th carry of the game puts him over 100 yards rushing. He has 102. And his team has a first down at the 15. Schneider, quick drop, throws it up high in the end zone. Nobody there, and almost intercepted. Anthony Lane, who returns punts, looked like he was chasing after one there.
Well, just a cross-up, they had David Blackburn doing a quick in, and they had Norston doing the out. Schneider just didn't have enough time to get set because he had Norston wide open. See the kind of pressure he's under, trying to throw off that back foot. And Anthony Lane almost comes down with an interception.
Now second down for the 15. 6th play of the drive. The Huskies trail this game by 17. Schneider to the flat to Norston. And it is a touchdown. Maury Norston. And the Huskies, on their opening possession of the second half, get right back in the football game.
We talked about how Brent Schneider likes to look at a lot of film and tape. Nobody has Maury Norston, and everybody's in man coverage. Norston leaks out of the backfield. Schneider finds him. 6 points. Nice job. He's that little inside move and now outruns Anthony Lane to the end zone.
Maury Norston's 7th receiving touchdown of the year. And the point after by Aki Georgikakis is good. 2nd touchdown of the game for the Huskies, pulls them within 10 with 10:43 to play in the 3rd quarter. Well, the Maury Norston drive, we'll call that, because the Saskatchewan tailback did all the work. And so Brian Towers' team is right back in it, down by 10. Now it's up to the Saskatchewan defense. Georgikakis kicks it off. Again, it is not deep. taken by Foster at the 25, and Foster gets out to the 39 for a return of 14 yards. A 40-yard kickoff, and Jamie, that's an indication of the problems that Saskatchewan has on special teams. Now Warren Goldie, the 23-year-old, gets his offense back on the field. 2 years ago, he had fairly serious surgery as a shoulder muscle had detached in his non-throwing arm. He had it reattached. A long rehab for Goldie, and now in his 4th year, he gets a chance to shine in the Vanier Cup game. His team is 1st and 10 from its own 39-yard line in the 3rd quarter. They give to the fullback, and Craig Young, room to rumble. He's across the 50 and into the 47-yard line. The big fullback, Craig Young, has been a big part of the running story for the Western Mustangs, a gain of 24.
It's a nice job. They run inside trap. They double team the nose. They pull and they trap Rapesi. And now he finds that little seam, gets a good block by Stuart Beek on Trent Bagnall, and gets up the field for a big gain.
Well, this second half is looking exactly like the first half. Saskatchewan scored first, and then Western came back to answer it immediately. The Huskies need a stop here. Again, it is Glab, the fullback, and the fullback this time gets only a couple as he crosses the 45. And Glab, who situation substitutes, as they say at Western. They pick his spots, but generally when he's in the game, he's right around the football.
And I think the other reason why Peter Glab probably doesn't play as much as Craig Young is Peter Glab is going to graduate this year. They thought they'd get the younger back in there early because Craig Young is only in his 3rd season. He'll be back for at least 1 more year.
The gain on the last play was 2, brings up 2nd and long. 2 tight ends, and both are in patterns. Little sidearm throw underneath the Glab. Glab's got a way to go to the first down. Looks like he got there as he's ridden out of bounds. Sean Brad got there, but probably too late to prevent a first down as Glab makes the reception and gets down to the 37-yard line. Glab came into the game with only 10 catches on the season, but he's got a couple today.
Warren Goldie just sidearm slings this to Peter Glab, and now Glab does a nice job of getting up the field. Peter Glab went to Bishop Macdonell High School, the same high school that produced running back Blake Marshall and Greg Marshall.
It is a first down. Now they give it the tailback, and Reed picks up a gain of 3 as he's stacked up at the 33-yard line.
You can see right now Saskatchewan's linebackers are really starting to become very physical. Warren Musica and also Steve Cornish, Joe Saul as well, and David Guthrie. You know, Warren Musica, he comes in as a first-year player, but played with the Hilltops and was the Junior Defensive Player of the Year a year ago, so some great experience there as well.
Now it brings up a 2nd and 6 after the gain of 4. Goldie, quick drop, throws out to the flat, has his man Tom McConnell, and McConnell gets down to the 21-yard line, which should be good for another Western first down, a gain of 12. And it does indeed move the sticks.
It's the kind of play, 3-step drop again. They have the corners playing off deep. That's Mike Stewart. They take Tom McConnell, they turn him outside, and Warren Goldie puts the ball right in the numbers. Enough for the first down. Tom McConnell, initially a quarterback in high school.
And he has attempted a pass in the postseason. Here's Reed. Sean Reed working the middle, and he gets worked over pretty well as he gets up to the 16-yard line. Steve Cornish, the linebacker. There's more of that physical play you were talking about.
And this is something that we really haven't seen Western run very much. This is more of a counter tackle trap where they get the ball deep to Sean Reed and they pull the right tackle, Jude St. John. But again, those linebackers are really playing up hard, and they recognize trap right away, and they come up underneath and stop it.
And a gain of 5, now 2nd and 5. And Warren Goldie's having a pretty good day. Just 5 incompletions in 17 attempts. Now 2nd and 5. Goldie, no pressure. Throwing to Beek, he's got it, and he has a touchdown. Stuart Beek, the big man, scores a big touchdown for Mustangs. And they're loving it on the Western side.
Play action pass once again. Stuart Beek just runs down in front of the linebacker Muzyka, then he spins out. Muzyka's trying to follow him, but what a great over-the-shoulder catch by Stuart Beek. Warren Goldie loves it. Stuart Beek, the all-Canadian tight end.
And now Jagas for the point after. It is good. And the Western Mustangs have regained their 17-point lead. It's 31-14 Mustangs in the 30th Vanier Cup. Saskatchewan scored on its opening possession of the half, but Western answered right back. A big drive for the Mustangs. That drive consumed about 3.5 minutes, and exactly what Western needed, Jamie.
Well, that's an easy catch. I'd like to see what a tough catch is for Stuart Beek.
Here's Maureen Norston from his 15 on the kickoff return. Norston's got an alley and gets out across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Schneider has it intercepted. It is picked off by Toby McHale, who caught that pass in self-defense. There's a late flag down, but what a catch by Toby McHale, who was about 3 yards away from the quarterback when the ball was thrown. Of all the people to pick one off. And now the call from referee Terry Connolly. And it's rough play against the Huskies, so after the interception, a big penalty.
See, three-step drop. Now Brent Snyder's only 5'10" tall. Toby McHale gets up against Gene Mikowski, knocks the ball, but then the ball comes right down in his stomach, and he makes the catch. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. This is why you have to cut defensive linemen when you're running a three-step drop. You cannot allow them to be in the quarterback's view.
That pass hit him in the face mask. He then managed to bring it down. What an interception. And the rough play penalty gives the Mustangs a first down at Saskatchewan's 26-yard line. They give to Craig Young, and this time the fullback is stacked up. Joe Saul is there to help make the stop. Steve Cornish, his linebacking partner, was in there as well. And they'll mark that as a 2-yard gain. What a turn of events. The fifth-year man from Markham, Toby McHale, with a big interception. And then you tack on the penalty, and all of a sudden the Mustangs threaten to open the lead even more. Young now has 8 carries for 66 yards. Now it's 2nd and 8. Two tight ends. Goldie, lots of time over the middle, and it is intercepted. Trent Bagnall makes the interception at the 1. It'll be lousy field position, but the Huskies have the ball back, and that's exactly what they needed.
That's exactly what they needed. They needed to get some momentum back again once Western got the ball back. Goldie's looking for Steve Buchan, the rookie slot back. And Trent Bagnall playing that free safety spot comes up and makes a great interception. They were well within Frank Jagas' field goal range, so Western were probably at least looking at 3 points. But Saskatchewan come up with a big defensive play and give the momentum right back to the Huskies.
So now Saskatchewan has the football back. The Huskies at their own 1. 5:33 to play in the 3rd quarter. The give to Norston. Off tackle and a good gain for Norston. Everyone knew that was coming. And he got a gain of 7 out to the 8-yard line.
Just take a look at the arms of Maureen Norston. You can see how strong he is physically. Not big in stature, but a real low ball carrier. Gets really low, uses his legs, his arms. Real tough guy to hit.
Gave his team some breathing room for this 2nd down play. 2 big interceptions early in this 3rd quarter. And now 2nd and 3. Toss to Norston. First down as he gets up to the 14-yard line, and a big first down for the Huskies. First down for the Huskies. And now the give goes to Slavic, and Slavic has a gain of, call it 5.
Jeff Slavic, another one of those 3 Huskies that played in the 1990 Vanier Cup from Gull Lake, Saskatchewan. He filled in took over from Mark Polzer, another player, fullback from Gull Lake. We've talked about this before. Who's the famous player from Gull Lake that played for the Saskatchewan Roughriders?
Roger Aldag.
You got it.
The hero of all those big guys in green up front. The prototypical offensive lineman. And this one from Saskatchewan's pretty good too. The gain was 5. It's second and just under 5. Out to the front they go to Johnston. Jason Johnson is stopped at the 25-yard line. He stretched to try to get the first down, and he'll be very close. Stacked up by Tim Hughes.
Three-step drop. He's looking at the inside slot. That's Jason Johnson. Makes a nice over-the-shoulder catch, and then he stretches out.
And he got a first down for his team.
Good heads-up play by Jason Johnson.
Well, the Huskies, who began at their own 1, have a second first down and are now out to their own 24. A little breathing room for Brent Schneider and company. Now Schneider back to pass. Blackburn over the middle, makes the catch. He gets dropped by Brian Heslop, but he's close to another Saskatchewan first down as he gets up to the 34-yard line.
Sorry, Gord, that's one of the things about Brent Schneider. You're never out of this football game when you have a quarterback the caliber of Schneider. Calm, cool, sits in the pocket, sees Blackburn, puts the ball right on the money.
And he got the ball up to the 34.5. And they'll come into measure. Mentioned that Blackburn was one of the 3 guys who played in that 90 Vanier Cup. And Skydome experience so important. We've seen it before, Jamie. The teams that play here tend to come back and win here.
And that's why Western and Saskatchewan are very similar in a lot of ways, because you take one guy away like Kerry Prokop, they go to David Blackburn. You take Blackburn away, they go to Maury Norston. You take Norston away, they go to Jason Johnson. I mean, they have all sorts of guys that can hurt you.
Blackburn just under 100 yards receiving so far today. Now Patrice Denis and the Western defense dig in. Saskatchewan with a first down up to its own 34-yard line. Clock running, 2:35 to play, third quarter. Here's the toss to Norston. Great block in front of him. But Norston falls victim to a great pursuit by the Western Mustangs as Derek Creed fights off a block and limits the gain to 2.
What they're doing is that they're now bringing Derek Creed over to the weak side. He's the all-Canadian linebacker. They feel they need some help over there. And he does a nice job of wrapping up Maury Norston. Derek Creed out of Chatham Collegiate, second-year kinesiology student.
2 minutes to play, third quarter. It's 2nd and 8 for the Huskies. And Schneider goes back to the shotgun. Western showing blitz, here it comes. Schneider gets it away, but the pass falls short of his intended target. Maury Norston was the receiver. Mark Lawson was right with him on the coverage, and Schneider got buried by the blitz.
Well, that's one of the problems when you take your backs out of the backfield. You only have 5 people blocking up front, and if you're bringing 6, the quarterback's responsible for 1 guy. Now, Brent Schneider knows he's responsible, but the routes were run a little bit too deep.
The drive that began at the Saskatchewan 1 fizzles at the Huskies' 37-yard line. And Rich Gabruck comes on to punt. Xavier LaFont back deep to receive along with Anthony Lane. Good high kick. And forced out of bounds at the 53-yard line. It's a 30-yard punt and a 3-yard return.
Dreams, they can give us hope. Hope to make the grade. Hope to be brave. To win against the odds. Sometimes it's just hope to carry on. In every community, there are dreams full of hope.
Young in motion. He's in front of Sean Reed. And Reed gets outside. Bagnall, the safety, rides him out of bounds at the 43-yard line, limiting the gain to 3 yards.
You really have to be impressed by Trent Bagnall. He's lined up right in the middle of your screen. Now he's trying to mirror Sean Reed all the way, making sure he keeps that leverage so that Reed can't cut back inside. Does a nice job of not allowing Reed to get his shoulders up the field. Trent Bagnall started this season at corner, but 3 games into the season they decided they would put him at safety and they would put Mike Stewart at corner.
And Craig Young, the fullback we just talked about, is injured and receiving attention on the sideline. Now it's the receiver screen to Tom McConnell. He's got blockers in front of him. McConnell's got a first down, and he stepped out of bounds at the 32-yard line. He gained 11 yards on the play, and he could have had a whole bunch more, and he'd been able to tiptoe down the sideline.
Well, this is what they call the slip screen to the receiver. They take both Sonny Perrott and Steve Fleck, the guard and tackle, out. They kick out against Mike Stewart, and then McConnell's supposed to cut up underneath, and a good call by the official. You can see that he steps out of bounds, and also got another great block by Sandy McGregor, the other wide receiver, lining up as a slot on that side.
And Young trying to walk off the injury on the western sideline. On first down from the 32. This is the give to the new fullback. And he's got a pickup of maybe a couple yards as Peter Glab, the 5th player, takes his place. Big 2nd and 6 now for the Mustangs at the 27-yard line of Saskatchewan. And Goldie looking to the flat. He's under pressure for the first time. He gets it away underneath. And he has Damian Lowry. And Lowry got the catch, but he'll be short of the first down. Damian Lowry, a first-year player, makes the grab, but he's well short of the first down.
It's good pressure by Saskatchewan's defense. Damian Lowry only his 2nd catch of the season.
And you saw Warren Musica leave the field earlier with the cut nose. He'll stay in no matter what. They patched him up during the break, and he stays in.
Looks like Jason.
I don't know if he can see through that. Now Jagus on to try a field goal from 35 yards out. The all-time leading scorer for the Mustangs. He puts it up, and it is good. Big field goal after an impressive drive by the Mustangs, and the score now 14. It's a 20-point lead for the Mustangs with 14:08 to play in the 4th quarter.
It is a great day for football.
Monday is for football. It's time for classic NFL action. Relive the greatest game. Relive the moments with all the stars of the game. Every Monday night on ESPN Classic Canada, where the legends come to play.
Join James Duffy and Darren Detition weeknights on SportsCenter for 90 minutes of the most comprehensive sports news program in Canada, featuring highlights, scores, exclusive interviews, and information from across the country and around the world. SportsCenter with Dutch and Duffy will keep you entertained and up to date on all the sports stories of the day. SportsCenter with James Duffy and Darren Detition, weeknights on TSN, Canada's sports leader.
First and 10 from their 30. It's the screen pass to Maureen Norston. Waits for his blocks, and now he's off and running. Up to the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 15 yards for the Saskatchewan tailback. An effective play, but it chews up some time on the clock.
I think Saskatchewan are realizing they want to get the ball in Norston's hands because this guy can break the game open right now. Even with 7.5 minutes left, he does a nice job of waiting for his blocking. Younger running backs sometimes want to outrun it, but he waits until he gets his offensive lineman out in front of him, David Rogers and David Fisher.
And he gets a first down at the 45. Now Schneider, 4-man rush by Western. Over the middle, he's got Prokop. There's a flag down late, and it'll be a late hit against Western as Roger Dunbrack hit Brent Schneider late, so you can tack this on to the end of the game, which was a first down for Saskatchewan. And that's a big penalty with 7:28 to play in the fourth. Roughing the passer is the call.
It's number 55, Roger Dunbrack.
So the penalty moves Saskatchewan down to the western 38-yard line. The Huskies could make it interesting with a quick score here. Leif Pettersson.
Well, Gord, after this play, they're going to go to the hurry-up offense. They realize time is not on their side, so watch for the hurry-up.
And we'll see how effective they are with it. Many teams lose their effectiveness when they have to rush. Now the throw to the flat. The Prokop, he dropped it. Thought about running before he caught it, and Tim Hughes couldn't make the squeeze, and you see Brian Towers making the indication, hurry up.
Yeah, that's just something you don't see from Kerry Prokop. Sure-handed receiver. This is an easy catch for him, but he just turns to look to run and get away from Tim Hughes before he actually has control of the ball.
And that time, Schneider huddled up. Maybe didn't see the indication from the sideline. 2nd and 10. They go back out to Norston. Norston with a first down, and then more down to the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 18 yards for the Saskatchewan tailback.
Once again, they swing Maury Norston outside. He waits for his blockers to get in front of him, and then he's one of the best, picking his blocks and getting up the field.
Now 1st and 10 from the 20, and Saskatchewan puts the hurry up in. Look out, Schneider gets buried. He had 3 guys bearing down on him. Roger Dunbrack was one of them, and it's a loss of 10. No shot for the Saskatchewan quarterback there.
Well, they bring Patrice Denis, the middle linebacker, on a stunt outside, fools Schneider a bit, and then he runs into Roger Dunbrack as well.
Big defensive play by the Mustangs brings up 2nd and 20. Schneider from the shotgun. Here comes the blitz. Schneider gets it away, looking for Prokop in double coverage. Dives for it, and it is a touchdown. What a catch by Kerry Prokop. 40-yard touchdown. The Huskies have the score they needed, and Kerry Prokop just took it away from 2 Mustang defenders.
Shows you the kind of competitor Kerry Prokop is. He drops an easy ball that he knows he should have had, but he comes right back with a great reception. Schneider stays in right to the last possible moment, but what a great snag. Wow.
Prokop with his 12th receiving touchdown of the year. The convert is good, just. And the lead now is down to 13. 6:21 to play, and Saskatchewan is climbing back in to the 30th Vanier Cup.
He is one of the most influential figures in recent history, an ordinary man who by virtue of his courage changed the world around him.
I shook up the world! I shook up the world!
ESPN Classic Canada brings you a week-long tribute to the champ. It all starts December 8th at 9 Eastern with our Muhammad Ali special. Thea Andrews and Russ Amber will be your hosts and guides throughout this very special week. Brought to you by the feature film Ali.
Brent Schneider's 2nd touchdown pass of the football game pulls his team within 13.
Still a lot of fight in these dogs as Kerry Prokop lines up in that slot position. It's a nice route, good body control, bang, gives him that. Now he runs to the corner. He's against Brian Heslop. Ball's thrown nice and high, and Kerry Prokop keeps his eyes on it the whole way and comes down with a big touchdown reception. Watch the kind of hit Schneider takes. Hangs in, boom. Toby McHale, number 54, puts the plastic to him.
Let's go to Leif Pettersson.
Well, Gord, Saskatchewan's going to kick it deep here and hope that their defense can play tough.
We were talking about it, Jamie, and you wonder with the kind of kickoff problems that Saskatchewan's had, why you wouldn't try it deep, because they're only getting 35-yard kickoffs anyway.
Well, I think you have to kick it off deep and try and rely on your defense. If you short kick it and don't get it, Western are only a first down away from field goal range.
Aki Georgakakis. It goes to Foster at the 25, and Foster gets out to the 32-yard line. And the kickoff traveled 41 yards. Western will have it at its own 32-yard line with 6:18 to play in the fourth quarter. Well, the Huskies beneficiaries of a huge second down play and a penalty, which really kept that drive going, and now it's up to Warren Goldie.
Well, now it's also up to Jerry Friesen. What do you do on defense? Do you start to gamble here and try and make some things happen, or do you try to play the same way where, hey, maybe we can hold them, maybe Western will make a mistake?
And Western has been pounding it along the ground in the second half. Clock at 6 minutes. They fake to Glab. Goldie's throwing. He's got a man over the top. McConnell, and it is intercepted. Second interception of the game for Trent Bagnall. Western goes for the bomb, and it blows up on them.
You know, you have to wonder about the play call there, and I'm not sure who made it, but that's foolish. You're running the ball very well on the ground, and you're controlling the offense. Why give them any more momentum than they already have? They haven't been able to get this in all day, and Bagnall plays it perfectly.
Never mind 2 and out. How about a 1 and out? And you see Trent Bagnall standing by with Leif Pettersson. We'll get to him in a moment. Now it's 1st and 10 from the 37. The Huskies with momentum. Schneider's got all day. He's got Norston in the flat, but he needs a block. And Norston does not get one. No gain. 5:14. You see the clock running now. It's 2nd and 10. Schneider from the shotgun. Again, lots of time. Guns it. And he's got Johnston. And Johnston close to a first down out to the 47-yard line. Jason Johnston with the catch.
Now Saskatchewan do not huddle now. They realize time's their enemy.
The hurry-up offense for the Huskies. As play is blown in. It's a first down at the 49. Schneider looking deep. He's got Olenek. He's open, and he's got the catch. Is he in bounds? Yes! Olenek down to the 24-yard line. It's a first down for the Huskies.
This is an absolutely great throw and an even better catch. He throws it up nice and high and allows Olenek to adjust to it. And Olenek makes a nice catch and keeps 1 foot in bounds.
A 36-yard gain. And now it's a Saskatchewan first down at the 24. 4:45 to play, fourth quarter, and the Huskies are storming back. Schneider. Here comes the blitz. He's got time. He's looking over the top for Norston, and it's a touchdown. Maury Norston with a 24-yard touchdown. And the Huskies, with 2 quick scores, are within a touchdown.
You were saying earlier that Brent Snyder should get the ball a little bit more to Maury Norston. Well, that's certainly been their game plan in the fourth quarter. And what a great catch. The back end of the football.
Now the point after from Aki Georgakakis. It's good. Don't look now. Here come the Saskatchewan Huskies.
Norston against the rookie Ryan Lyons. Great catch.
4:34 to play, and the crowd is on its feet. The kickoff taken by Glab at the 21. He's got some room. Glab forced out of bounds by the kicker at the 43-yard line. A 44-yard kickoff, a return of 22, and I'll bet my last nickel that Western does not throw deep on first down this time.
I guarantee that they won't do that. I'm not sure why they did it in the last series, and I guess that's only an answer that Warren Goldie, Larry Haler, and Greg Marshall know.
Huskies have it. Unbelievable. 2 plays, 2 turnovers by Western. Warren Goldie and Sean Reed miscommunicate, and the Huskies have the football. Steve Cornish with the recovery.
This is a new play that Western put in for Saskatchewan, the counter tackle trap. They haven't run it a lot. They try to hand the ball deep in the backfield. As you can see, the timing is off. Warren Goldie does not get it into the pocket that Sean Reed puts there, and they lose the ball. Wow.
And the Huskies, who might have been practicing their concession speech with 10 minutes to go on the 4th, can now smell victory. They're down by 6. 2 turnovers in the last 2 series. And the Huskies have it at the Western 43.5.
We used to talk that Bob Lakel, the head coach at University of Toronto, did a study, and he said the thing that turns football games around are turnovers, because teams score 40% of the time when they get a turnover.
Saskatchewan turned the last one into a touchdown. Draw play, Norston. And he's up to the 36-yard line for a gain of 7.
And this is the interesting thing now. Not only field position, but with 3:46 left, they don't have to throw the ball every now and now. They can rely a bit on their running game. They get back, they give the draw, Norston slides it outside. Derek Crete makes a tackle.
Fake to Norston. Over the top. LaFont is back there, and it's intercepted in the end zone. He had that all the way. Mustangs 1st and 10 at their 10. Toss to Reed. And Reed gets 4. Rod's getting a scoop down there for us.
We were stressed for they play fast, you know, no adults, and we have to break the momentum, and we did it. So we're coming back and beat them.
Big play again. Let's head over to Lee Pedersen.
Well, Rod, Brent Schneider, as you might expect, took it on a bad knee. It's a little bit strained, but I think he's going to be back in. He's all right.
Big second down. Receiver screen to McCarley. Needs the 20. He's there. Should be a Western first down.
This shows great discipline on behalf of Tom McConnell, because he looks like he can run this outside and beat people, but Louis Simon is there. McConnell does the right thing, comes back inside and makes sure he gets the first down.
And Schneider appears to be all right, but his team needs the ball back. 2:33 to play. Here's Reed again. Looking for a block. He stumbles at the 20, no gain.
It's a good job by Saskatchewan's defense, because this is the situation they want Western in. A passing down. Force Western on 2nd and long to throw the ball. If it's incomplete, it stops the clock. It's a sweep. I think he gets it caught up in here with the guard, Steve Fleck. Just kind of hits the back of his foot. Stumbles. But Saskatchewan is right there.
2nd and 10. Draw play. Glad got 2. Not nearly enough. And look at the face of Warren Musica. Think he cares about the cut? Not a bit. Leaf?
Well, Gordon, Jamie, good news on the Saskatchewan side. Brent Schneider will return and give it a big finish here.
And Schneider has set the Vanier Cup record for most yards passing in a game, breaking the old record held by Forrest Kennard, who led the Alberta Golden Bears to a Vanier Cup win over Ottawa back in 1980. He'll get one more chance to win the game. Jagas back at his 10 to punt. Wist and Olenek are back deep to receive. And Jagas will surrender the safety. He'll try to burn as much time off the clock as he can. And he's finally pushed out of bounds. He takes it down to 134. Now it's a 4-point lead. Good decision by Larry Haler. Saskatchewan still needs a touchdown to win it. Now Western can kick the ball off.
It's good strategy by Larry Haler and the Western Mustangs to not want to give the ball back to Brent Schneider at midfield, knowing that a converted touchdown beats them. Now they're going to try to kick the ball deep. Hopefully they will assuredly kick it away from number 26, Maury Norston. I'm sure they'll try and kick it deep to Kelly Wist or squib the kick somehow. Depend on their kickoff cover team to keep them pinned deep inside of their own end and force Brent Schneider to drive the ball a long way.
The kickoff will come from the 35. See Bob Leroux, the defensive coordinator for Western, who took over as the interim head coach when Larry Haler went on sabbatical. It'll be up to his guys in a minute when Saskatchewan gets the ball back. The Mustangs took about 20 seconds off the clock there, running around, and now they'll take 10 seconds off with this kickoff, at least. Two gunslingers have gone toe-to-toe today. We said in the first half it might be last touch wins. We'll see. Jagger to kick it off from the 35. It's a low squib kick taken by Wist at the 30. He's got a wall in front of him and he gets out to the 46-yard line. A 45-yard kickoff, a 16-yard return. 1:30 to play in the fourth quarter. And here he comes.
And what guy would you rather have running your offense with 1:30 left to go in a championship game? But this guy right there, Brent Schneider, is taking the Saskatoon Hilltop team to a junior title in 1991. On the verge of taking the Saskatchewan Huskies to a CIAU title in 1994.
He's got a ways to go. The Huskies have 2 timeouts. Schneider over the middle. This is Slavik. And he is loose into Mustang territory to the 44-yard line. Jeff Slavik. And a gain of 19 yards.
We hadn't really talked much about Jeff Slavik today other than his blocking ability, but certainly shows he's a very adept receiver as well.
Now Schneider to the shotgun. Here comes the blitz. Schneider sees it. Gets it away to Johnston. And Johnston gets down to the 34-yard line. Another first down. Jason Johnston with a catch, a gain of 11. And it's a first down.
See, Mark Lawson, the linebacker on Jason Johnson, misses him, and Johnson gets up the field for a first down.
Low snap. Schneider, end zone, Blackburn, touchdown! Saskatchewan leads for the first time since the opening moments of the first quarter.
Gets a low snap, does a nice job of recovering, but great protection. He's looking at Blackburn all the way. He's against Anthony Lane. And what a great throw and catch. Wow. David Blackburn having the game of his career.
Now the point after. It is good. It's a 3-point lead for Saskatchewan with 1:04 to play And now surrendering the safety is enormous. And now the kickoff from Aki Georgakakis. Foster from the 14 to the 30. Check that. It was Damian Lowry, a 51-yard kick, a 16-yard return. Goldie, they're playing way off. Bucket dropped the football.
Now, one thing you have to wonder about what Western's doing, Steve Buchan is going to be a great football player maybe someday for Western, but he's a freshman right now. You have to start to go to the money people, Tom McConnell, McGregor, and your tight end Stuart Beek.
Second down. Goldie airs it out. And it's caught for a first down by Sandy McGregor. Down. Goldie underneath. He has Glab across midfield to the 52. Goldie. The quick out, and Foster gets out of bounds at the 46. Glab, room to run, down to the 34-yard line. 26 seconds to play. Running. Goldie, quick out to Foster, and it's incomplete. The ball is at the 35. Goldie on the run. He's got a long way to go. He throws it up, and it is out of bounds. He was looking for Tom McConnell, but he's out of bounds. 3rd and 10. And here comes Jagus. It's up. And good. And this just tied the game.
The biggest kick of Frank Jagus' career. Didn't really get a lot on it. It just snuck over the crossbar.
There are places that charge higher prices than we do, and there is a market for that. But if you ask me, our attention to detail creates a suit that's hard to beat. Not only in quality, but because we eliminate the middleman, also in price. And as you have let us know, there is an even bigger market for that.
Year in and year out, no one sells more suits in Canada than Moore's. Well made, well priced, well dressed. Moore's.
What's the real sports fan looking for? More scores, stats, information, more expert analysis, more coverage of your team. All the details, all the time, anywhere. What the real sports fan needs is tsnmax.ca. tsnmax.ca offers detailed sports information from Canada's leading sports experts. Email alerts, web alerts, wireless access, pools, and you can personalize it so you get all the information you need. tsnmax.ca. Max your sports IQ.
Even at 37, the 30th Vanier Cup will be the first to go to overtime. And Saskatchewan will start the first overtime period. I'm not sure if there's any emotion left for this crowd.
Let alone the players.
Now Jaggers to kick it off, and overtime is underway for the first time at the Vanier Cup. Kelly Wisk dropped the ball at the 10. He's got it back. And now he's up to the 25-yard line. A 55-yard kickoff, a return of 15 with a little bobble that no doubt put Brian Towers' heart in his mouth for a moment. And look at the numbers by Schneider. He didn't beat the Vanier Cup record. He annihilated it.
Kelly Wisk just takes his eyes off the ball, bounces off his chest, does a good job at getting it back and getting it up the field. It's a pretty good hit.
The Huskies started the first half like gangbusters, started the second. We'll see how they do in overtime. Draw play to Norston. And Norston does a great job to get 6 yards, eluding the initial tackle. Norston tackled by Paul Priestner. And here are the numbers through 4 quarters. 608 net yards for Saskatchewan, 516 for Western. The Mustangs had 60 more after 3 quarters.
That is absolutely incredible, both of those sets of numbers. Over 1,100 yards of offense. Wow.
Now on second down. Schneider over the middle. He's got Slavik, and Slavik should have a first down. He's tripped up at the 36-yard line, and that should get him the first down yardage, or he's close to it.
Sorry, Gord. Brent Snyder's starting to do a really nice job at using his backs now. We talked about Maury Norston. Now Jeff Slavik is getting a little bit more involved in the game plan. Not only as a blocker, but now as a pass receiver.
And Slavik got marked back at the 35.5, so this will force a measurement, and he has it. Well, it's interesting how much of a deflation there is, Jamie, after you get the wild end of the fourth quarter, people going crazy, and then you go to overtime, and it's like a new game, and the crowd kind of relaxes and sags a bit. You wonder if it affects the teams. But knowing these two, it'll come right down to the last second of the second overtime. Here's the tuck to Norston on first down. He's got room to run. Here he goes, Norston. All the way down to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 43 yards.
They like to run the toss to the weak side with Norston. They get Bell out there again, number 66, and he makes a nice block of Brian Heslop, and then the receivers downfield do a good job against the secondary. Tim Hughes has to come all the way over and make a big stop. Great numbers for Maury Norston, 174 yards and only 16 carries, over 10 yards per carry.
On first down, Schneider to the flat. He's got Blackburn. And Blackburn is down to the 23-yard line. A yard short of the first down after a gain of 9.
And you know, we talked a little bit about the fitness level. Western's defensive line look very fatigued right now. They're not getting any pressure at all on Brent Snyder. Just take a look at the time he has. Sits, waits, finds Blackburn.
Xavier Lafont made the stop. Flags are down. And Norston is down to the 16-yard line. Looked like Western was offside. We'll see if perhaps Saskatchewan drew the Mustangs off. And it's offside. Western.
Offside, Western, number 39, Saskatchewan, first down.
To the left of your screen, number 39. He sees the crack coming down by Jason Johnson, and he gets a little antsy and steps across.
Let's go to Leif Pettersson.
Well, Gord, Jamie just mentioned a few minutes ago that he thought Western looked fatigued. That's exactly what the Huskies are saying on their bench. They're saying, hey, they're tired and we're in better shape. It should be our overtime.
One thing that could be a factor is travel. Saskatchewan had to fly a long way to the Atlantic Bowl last week, some 4,500 miles one way, and then come back here a few days later. They got plenty of life right now, though. First down at the 18. Schneider, blitz, has a man, and it is knocked down. No catch. Almost intercepted by the safety, Tim Hughes, who was battling Kerry Prokop for the ball.
This time Weston decided to come with a little bit of pressure. Derek Parks comes free, and Tim Hughes almost comes up with an interception. Kerry Prokop does a nice job to grab Hughes' arm and stripping him of the ball.
Comes the blitz, dumps it off, short for Norston. Third down upcoming, and now the question. Does Saskatchewan try a field goal for the first time today? Here comes Georgakakis.
Georgakakis has not kicked a field goal in, I believe, 6 weeks. They didn't even think he was going to dress for this game.
They put the ball down to 23. This would be Saskatchewan's longest field goal of the season. And remember, if Lafont takes it out of the end zone, it's not a single. But it doesn't matter because he made it. And no one's happier to see Georgakakis back than Brian Tauris. And Saskatchewan takes the lead in the first overtime half.
We said earlier he made a trip here to Toronto, of course, and they didn't think he was going to dress, but on Thursday afternoon he was kicking 40-yard field goals. They decided to insert him into the lineup.
Craig Young returns to the Western lineup after suffering a hip pointer in the second half. And now with 6 minutes to play in the first half of overtime, Western gets its first possession. They fake the toss to Reed. Throw it out to the flat, and McConnell has it go through his hand. Coverage by Louis Simon.
Little bootleg quick action by the Mustangs. Fake toss, only take a short 3-step drop by the quarterback. Tries to hit the receiver doing a 10-yard out. Tom McConnell just can't find the handle. That's one that he should have had.
Now 2nd and 10 from the 35. Goalie, all kinds of time, guns it over the middle, and it is intercepted. Picked off by Dan Stewart at Saskatchewan's 47-yard line.
This is great coverage by Saskatchewan's defense. We talked about Trent Bagnall and everybody trying to keep things in front of them. Super job. Bagnall attacks it. Stewart attacks it as well. And Stewart comes up with the interception.
Took a shot from his own guy, too. And the Huskies get it right back. Western turnovers have told the story in the late fourth quarter and now in overtime. Here's Norston on the draw play. Cross midfield to the 53.
And Saskatchewan are starting to do a very good job now of running the football. Their offensive line look fresh. Western's defensive line look a bit fatigued.
2nd and 8. Here's Norston again. He's got the first down and more. Still going. One man to beat, and again the safety. Tim Hughes, the only thing standing between Maureen Norston and the end zone. A 21-yard gain.
Maury Norriston looks like he just got onto the field for the first time. He looks very, very fresh. Just keeps his legs moving. Western can't get over and pursue very well. Crete misses the tackle. It has to be Tim Hughes making the tackle once again downfield. But when you're fatigued, you can't flow as well to the football. You can't shed your blocks as well. That tackle saved the touchdown.
Now David Burney and the rest of the Mustangs dig in. Schneider over the top, and it is not intercepted, dropped. Anthony Lane had it for a moment. The official on the sideline said he caught it, but the official in the end zone said he did not. Second time a pass for Flaman has been broken up.
Cardinal rules a quarterback when you're throwing that deep ball, throw it outside, not inside. Good call by the official. He did not have the football. You can see it clearly hit the ground and bounced out.
It's a good thing Larry Haler and Brian Towers are both young men. Schneider looking for it all. Prokop, end zone, intercepted. Tim Hughes turns in a second gigantic defensive play.
Prokop got into that seam, and it looked like he was behind Tim Hughes, but Hughes made a great recovery. Xavier Lafont knocks Kerry Prokop down, and Hughes comes down with a huge interception.
Schneider now 1 for 5 in overtime with 1 interception. Western gets it back at its 10. 3:21 to go in the first overtime period. Goldie up the throw to the flat. McConnell. McConnell still going up to the 31-yard line. A gain of 21 yards and a first down.
We talked about this at the beginning of the show. When you watch Tom McConnell come out of the huddle and the way he runs, he looks very unassuming, but he has very good moves. Gets up the field, slides laterally. Deceptive receiver.
It's first down for the Mustangs at their 31. 3 minutes to play in the first overtime half. Goldie, receiver screen to McConnell. He's going to throw. And it is incomplete. It's like it's spring practice or something for them. Golden guns it over the middle and incomplete. He was looking for the first-year man, Steve Buchan. And now the punting unit will take the field for Western. 2:21 to play in the first overtime half.
And Saskatchewan are taking away Stuart Beek. They're forcing Warren Goldie to go to receivers that he hasn't gone to all season long. And of course, we're talking about the slot back, Steve Buchan. Stuart Beek comes underneath. He's covered. He tries to go to Steve Buchan, and Buchan doesn't really recognize his own there. He should have just settled down there and let Warren Goldie put the ball there, but he was trying to move through it.
Leaf.
Well, Gord, Jamie makes a good point. What Saskatchewan wants to do is Stuart Beek is play an inside-out game with the halfback and the linebacker and force Goldie to go to the outside. Absolutely right.
Jagus. Low kick to Wist, and it goes out of bounds at the 46-yard line. A 34-yard punt and no return. 2:15 to play in the first overtime half.
Dreams. We carry them with us all the time. Some we've had for as long as we can remember. Others are very new. Dreams can comfort us, move us, and inspire us to build a better life. But how does a dream get off the ground?
We pitted Castrol Syntec 1030 against the leading conventional oils in some of the world's toughest tests. the 96-hour TU3 viscosity test. The M111E, designed to break down an oil into sludge. The blistering hot VWIC deposit test. Not one conventional oil could pass all these tests. Then again, there's nothing conventional about Syntec. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
We're at Skydome in Toronto. It's the 30th Vanier Cup, the first in the history of this game to go to overtime. Western had a 20-point lead over Saskatchewan with 10 minutes to play. The Huskies rallied back with 3 touchdowns thanks to a couple of Western turnovers. And this is the first overtime half. They played 2 10-minute non-sudden death halves. Here's Maury Norston on the toss. And Norston fights way ahead for a gain of 5 as he crosses the 50.
That's been a great play for Saskatchewan this afternoon to the short side. Doesn't really look like Maury Norston's getting much in that play, but when you get up and you look at the yardsticks, you go, gosh, he got 6 yards on that.
From the shotgun, low snap, Schneider has it to Norston, who fights his way ahead. Face mask at the end of the play. And this will improve Saskatchewan's field position measurably.
Just take a look at the strength of Maury Norston. When he gets turned around, look at his legs, just drive, drive, drive. Todd McKay, number 20, the defensive back, has to haul him down by his face mask.
Unnecessary roughness, grasping the face mask. Number 20 Western, first down, Saskatchewan.
Todd McKay is flagged for face masking. It moves the Huskies down to the Western 37. 1:45 to play in the first overtime half. Norston stumbles and gets stopped immediately. Mark Lawson steps up to make the tackle.
Pretty good hit by Mark Lawson.
This late in the game, that hurts a ton. And there's an injured Western Ontario Mustang. It's Toby McHale who has an interception in this football game. And this guy already has the Vanier Cup record in the bag. And as McHale makes his way off the field, it's second down for the Huskies at the Western 35. 1:35 to play in the first overtime half. 5-man rush. Schneider over the middle and incomplete. He was looking for Prokop. But the coverage again by the safety man, Tim Hughes, the OUAA All-Star. Now, third down.
Patrice Denny, the middle linebacker, gets a hand in there. Just enough to distract Kerry Prokop.
And I think Saskatchewan will go for it here. Too far for the field goal try. Not much point in punting. Schneider looking deep, and it's too far for Prokop. The third down gamble fails. Brian Heslop was back on the coverage, and his Western Mustangs will take over. And with 1:24 to play in the first overtime half, Western gets the ball back at the 35. And a chance perhaps to tie it before the first overtime half ends.
I'm sure that's what they're looking at right now with 1:24 left in the first overtime.
Goldie, lots of time, has it underneath, and the catch is made by Sandy McGregor, who has a first down up at the 47, a gain of 12.
Saskatchewan have made a lot of changes in their secondary. Dan Stewart, who lined up initially as the inside halfback, is now playing corner.
Taking the place of his brother Mike, who was shaken up earlier.
And in to replace Dan Stewart at that inside halfback spot is number 27, Corey Toms.
Leatherdale. A pickup of 11 and another first down. 53 seconds to go.
Take the tight end deep, and then he slides Sean Reed underneath. This takes a lot of courage to stop and go back the other way. And you see Brandon Leatherdale, number 68, comes in and gives him a big shot, but actually knocked him ahead just enough for the first down.
And now there's an injured Husky. Haler talking it over with his offensive coordinator. And we'll see if we can see what the injury is.
See number 27, Corey Toms.
Toms got hit when Leatherdale came over the top and drove Reed right into him. Well, he's moving. That's the good sign. Now injuries really become a factor for the Saskatchewan defensive backfield. Mike Stewart, the freshman, comes back in to play the corner as Dan Stewart will go back to his halfback position. .53 seconds to play in the first overtime half. I'm Gord Miller along with Jamie Bone, Leif Pedersen, Rod Smith, John Wells, here for the 30th Vanier Cup. And Toms is now sitting up. Another one of those natives of Saskatoon. There are 11 of them on the Husky roster today.
Have some good high school football in Saskatoon. Holy Cross.
Here's Rod Smith.
Well, Gord, speaking of injuries, you remember Toby McHale went down a little earlier on. They were examining his left knee. He has had medial collateral injuries to both knees in the past, so this one has been re-aggravated. He had braces on, of course, one removed. They're checking it out. They do not know if he will return.
And now Corey Toms leaves the game gingerly for the Saskatchewan Huskies. It's a first down for Western at the Saskatchewan 53, and there are 53 seconds left in the first overtime half. Receiver screen to McConnell. McConnell waiting to set up his blocks. Now he does. Inside the 40 to the 37. Gain of 16 yards.
We saw Maury Norston earlier. We talked about his experience in being able to follow his blocks in the screen. McConnell now does the same thing. Again, the receiver screen. Now he waits for his offensive lineman, Sonny Parada, Steve Fleck, to get outside in front of him. Waits for the blocks, doesn't become impatient. Now he picks his way and gets up the field for a big gain.
And a first down. Clock is running. They give to Glab. And Glab gets inside the 30 to the 29. And now Western will call timeout. It's just like a regular half. You get your allotment of timeouts, and each team is awarded 2 in the overtime.
You see, one of the things Larry Haler's looking at right now, he's saying, you know, we're on the 29-yard line with 28 seconds left. This is a great opportunity for us to try and score a touchdown. Let's not be thinking field goal, but let's not play crazy now. Let's not throw anything up, give them anything. But still, we've got a chance to score a touchdown. We're deep inside of their end. Let's play smart.
There's Greg Marshall, the former All-Canadian offensive coordinator for the Western Mustangs. Brother Blake retired at the start of this season as a great fullback for the Edmonton Eskimos. They both played for Edmonton. In fact, Greg was injured on the Labor Day game in Calgary at McMahon Stadium. 6 years later to the day, his brother suffered the same injury on the same field. Second and short. They give to Young. He's got the first down as he gets down to the 26-yard line.
The ball gets back over a bit. So I'm thinking every time there's been about probably 6 times.
I'm talking about the
We're going to get rid of it quick.
You see, James Rapesi is injured. The Canada West Rookie of the Year, who was shaken up earlier. How much gas can these teams have left? And there's Frank Jagus, who might get another chance to tie the football game.
Frank Jagus had a tryout with the Toronto Argonauts this past year, was released, came back to Western.
And here's how Rapesi was hurt. Actually hit by his own man.
Rapesi earlier in this game had a burner. Looks like the same kind of problem. He's favoring that left shoulder.
What an addition he's been, the 19-year-old from Moose Jaw. Team was 2-2. He became a starter. 6-0 since then.
Went to the same high school that Brian Towers went to, A.E. Peacock.
Now a first down for the Mustangs at the 27-yard line. Clock running. Here's Goldie. Lots of room to run. There's no one in front of him. He's got corners to beat. Goldie goes to the sidelines, out with 7 seconds left. He's at the 14-yard line.
And now what you do is you go one play to the end zone. And it has to be quick.
And Western will call timeout. This game is at absolutely everything. I thought last year's Vanier Cup was unbelievable.
That's been the most exciting Vanier Cup to date, no question about it. Eats up lots of time, but he has a lot of room. Tries to give a fake to Steve Cornish, the linebacker, but it's a good job of keeping his leverage, forcing him out of bounds. 7 seconds left. It's decision time for Western. They decide they're going to run one more play, probably something that will try and go into the end zone.
Rod Smith.
Well, Gord, one thing they were talking about as they huddled there on the sideline, one comment, throw it on time, throw it on time. Goldie was concerned that if his man's not open, what he does. He's got to worry about that precious time ticking down. Looks like they'll have that one planned route. If it's there, they'll go for it. He'll obviously try to avoid the interception by throwing it a little bit far in the outstretched hands of somebody, but he wants to make sure he throws it on time and doesn't dawdle at all.
And the one thing Goldie doesn't want to do is get flushed out of the pocket and start running, because then he's got nowhere to go. So one shot for the end zone and a Western lead. If not, it'll be a field goal try on the final play of the first overtime half. Goldie, end zone, and incomplete. Coverage provided by Mike Stewart. 2 seconds left, so it'll be a field goal try. Now this overtime half is like the end of the first half. If they miss here, you don't get the ball back to start the next quarter. You don't just change ends. There'll be a kickoff to open the second half.
Throwing just a little, throwing just a little bit behind McConnell. They run bootleg quick. Good coverage by Mike Stewart. McConnell goes up. Stewart hits him. Can't twist his body and make the catch.
The third one sent the game to overtime. From 21 yards out, Jagus puts it up and good. They've played 70 minutes of football and they haven't decided a thing. The second overtime half will begin with the teams tied at 40. The 30th Vanier Cup is in overtime. We'll return to Skydome right after this.
Dearly beloved, welcome to Kia's year-end I-Do sales event, featuring the free-spirited but still available 5-door Rio RXV, the sophisticated Magentas, eager to pamper you for life, and the van of your dreams, the safe and dependable Sedona, all ready to commit with the best 5-year warranty in the business. Now do you, the customer, want to take us, Kia, for a test drive? Just say I-Do on for a limited time. You may now kick the tires.
Sports Center with Dutch and Duffy. Weeknights on TSN.
First down, Mustangs. Here comes that counter play to Lowry, nowhere. Great play by David Guthrie to stop Damian Lowry on that slot back counter that Western loves to run. It's a loss of 4.
And this is inexperience on behalf of Lowry. He's a first-year player. He's being kicked out, Guthrie. He's got to pull through there. He can't outrun it. Guthrie plays that perfectly. Gets outside leverage, tries to force him inside, and if he wants to try and outrun him, he's got position. P.J. Gleason gets enough of him, and if he goes inside, he's got a lot of room.
In the first quarter, Guthrie made a great play, jumped in the air, waved his arms. He's so tired now, he was life and death to get up at the end of that play. 2nd and 14. Draw play to Glab. And he stops at the 25. He'll be 7 yards short of a first down. Here comes the field goal unit. Puts it up. And good. 5 for 5 is the all-time leading scorer for Western. And the Mustangs have the lead in overtime. 43-40 with 4:28 to play. First and 10 from the 35. Schneider knocked down, and so is the quarterback. He got buried. Chris Harhay smoked the Saskatchewan quarterback.
Chris Harhay, number 60, just drills Brent Schneider after he releases that ball as the ball gets knocked away by Paul Priestner.
2nd down. Schneider has it tipped up and almost intercepted. Derek Crete got his hands on it. Schneider has missed his last 4 passes, and Saskatchewan will have to punt. Here comes the rush. Brook gets a good kick away deep to Lane at the 34. But it was low, and he can return it. Here he comes, Anthony Lane. One man to beat. It's the kicker. And here he goes, Anthony Lane. Touchdown, Western. A 76-yard punt return touchdown by Anthony Lane in overtime. And he was due.
We talked about it being a deep kick, but it was on the line as well. Saskatchewan couldn't get down and cover it. He attacks it right away when he gets the ball in his hands. Brook is the last one that has a chance, but Anthony Lane pours on the speed and gives Western a 10-point lead.
The point after by Jaggers is good. 3:25 to play in the second overtime half. And there is Al Philbrick. 82 years old. He runs around the field every time Western scores. He might be this game's leading rusher.
I'm sure that's Al's best run of the year.
Now the kickoff. It's taken by Prokop. And stuffed up at the 44-yard line. 35-yard kick, 14-yard return. Let's see if there's a clip here, Jamie.
That's what Brian Towers is talking about. Right there. No, that's clean because it's the initial point.
Right there, though.
Oh, right there. That's right. There's the clip right there on Rapesi.
Nick Griffiths with the block. It looked like a clip to me. That'll be the first part of the game film the Huskies look at, you can bet. If they lose. And they haven't yet. First down. Schneider. Over the middle, he's got Norston. And Norston is close to a first down up to the 53-yard line.
And you know, there's plenty of time. There's 3 minutes and 7 seconds left. They can get down the field, score, go for the short kick.
And on second down, it is easily a first down for Maury Norston, who crosses midfield and and gets into Western territory at the 50. 2 possessions needed by the Huskies. Back and forth they've gone. Schneider now. Over the middle. Johnston has it. He's got a gain of 5 to the 45.
And we certainly mentioned Derek Creed's name a lot today. He's the All-Canadian linebacker from Western. Been all over this field.
Here comes the blitz. Schneider gets it away. High pass. Great catch. Kerry Prokop has a first down to the 35. First down, Schneider. And this time it is low, intended for Prokop. And they're coming after the Saskatchewan quarterback.
Yeah, Western are really trying to bring all sorts of different people. They're bringing linebackers and they're bringing some of their secondary people as well. They don't want to give Brent Schneider time to throw, but the danger in that is that if they pick up the blitz and he gets one-on-one coverage, he'll kill you.
Second down. Lots of time. This time, Schneider throwing over the top. He's got a man open, but it's out of bounds. He was looking for Norston. It'll bring up third down. Here it comes. 3rd and 10. Here comes the rush. Schneider gets it away, and it is incomplete. Western will take over with 2:28 to play. And now we'll see the Western running game. Toss to Sean Reed. And Reed gets 6 tough yards out to the 41. Second down and 4. And close to a first down. They'll spot it at the 46. And this should be a first down. It is for Western. Big first down for the Mustangs. 1:45 to play in the second overtime half. Here's Reed getting outside. He does not want to go out of bounds. And had he would have faced his own coach, Greg Marshall, who screamed at him to stay in bounds.
Well, I think everybody was screaming at him.
Goldie will work the clock as much as he can. Sean Reed across midfield. He gets to the 54, which is where he needed to be for the first down. And very close to it. If he's got it, it's game over for Saskatchewan. And they'll need to measure. I think actually he's just a fraction short. And they stretch it out. It's close. He's got the first down. 1:16 to go in the second half of overtime. So the Huskies cannot stop the clock as much as they'd like. They have one timeout remaining. Here's the give to Reed. Stopped up at the 52 for a gain of 3. Second and 7. Glab, the fullback, got 3 down to the 48. And now the punting unit comes out for Western, and Warren Goldie leaves the field. The last undefeated team to win the Vanier Cup, the UBC Thunderbirds, back in 1982. Western is 36 seconds away from duplicating that feat. Jagas fumbled the snap, and he's buried at the 50. Well, the Huskies have the football. 32 seconds left. They need a quick touchdown, a short kick, and then they can kick a field goal to send it into another overtime.
It's not over yet. Oof. Some of the most basic things that you think you can accomplish and do that are automatic. Sometimes in big games you lose your concentration. But Frank Jaggers did the right thing. He did not try to kick it.
Schneider's limping. He'll get a shot. And Western's playing way off the ball. Schneider underneath the Maury Norston. Norston's down to the 37, but Western more than happy to allow him to do that. The Huskies hurry up to the ball. Schneider in the shotgun. Clock running. To the sidelines to Norston, and the pass is out of his reach.
I think it was tipped by number 39, Paul Priestner.
Now on second down, Schneider will need to go to the end zone. Here he goes. Hurls it up for Blackburn. Xavier Lafont is back there, and it is intercepted. It is picked off by Todd McKay, and McKay is still going. Slavic brings him down to 43 with 1 second left on the clock. That'll do it for the Western Mustangs, who will simply have to down the football and win the first overtime game in the history of the Vanier Cup. The 30th Vanier Cup goes to the school that has won more than any other. The Western Mustangs are national champions for the 6th time. Western wins it in overtime, 50-40 over Saskatchewan. The 30th Vanier Cup was a thriller indeed.
It is a great day for football.
Monday is for football. It's time for classic NFL action. Relive the greatest game. Relive the moments with all the stars of the game. Every Monday night on ESPN Classic Canada, where the legends come to play.
Saskatchewan and Western put 90 points up on the scoreboard at Skydome today and used 2 periods of overtime before they could settle Vanier Cup 30, the Mustangs winning by 10 points. It took 2 overtime halves to decide which was the very best team in 1994. The Mustangs needed every second of this championship marathon to prove that they are #1 in the nation. The Huskies settled for #2, but they were oh so close. Better football games don't come around very often. And we thank you for joining us for Vanier Cup 30 at Skydome today.